Hi there. I want to touch base with you today on the ketogenic diet, a keto diet. So you certainly have heard of this. Maybe you've tried it. And I thought we could just address the pros and cons of the keto diet. Okay, first off, let's define it. So essentially, this is a dietary approach that's predicated on basically removing almost all carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates from the diet, and focusing on a very, almost non-existent carbohydrates and high protein, high fat. Okay, so high protein, high fat. So the alleged advantage of the keto diet is that it's rapid weight loss and supposedly helps with type 2 diabetes blood sugar control. Okay, so those are supposedly the pros. The cons are many. So basically, eating this way, cutting out the healthiest foods essentially that I've been talking about in every single video, fresh fruits and vegetables and whole grains and beans and legumes, like gone, right? So you cut those out. So one of the things that you find in terms of disadvantages with the keto approach is nutritional deficiencies. Yes, because you're getting your antioxidants and your fresh, your vitamins and your minerals primarily in these beautiful plant foods. Not to mention fiber. So animal products don't have antioxidants. They don't have fiber, right? So when you cut all of that healthy stuff out, it's there's some downsides to it. Another aspect of this is called keto flu. Yes, you're very likely to come down with keto flu if you've been on this diet for very long, and that basically can be everything from headaches, nausea, dizziness, muscle cramps, because it's really hard on the body to put it into a ketogenic mode. So how about some other disadvantages? So basically, if you look at the major disease states in the country, heart disease number one, diabetes, stroke. So what are the drivers of those diseases? There's a body of foods that comprise that, and it's animal products, it's meat, it's chicken, it's dairy. The sources of saturated fat and cholesterol are directly linked to these disease states. Heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and these other complications. Also, because these foods are inflammatory foods, they drive inflammation diseases, and that includes all autoimmune disorders. So it seems counterintuitive to follow a diet that has so many cons and so few pros. So let's circle back to the pros. What was that again? Rapid weight loss. Is that actually a pro? So think about it. In any diet that you've ever followed, the faster you lose the weight, is it not accurate that the sooner you're going to then gain it back? Versus over time, losing weight more slowly and gradually, you're more likely to keep it off. I mean, that's just a scientific fact, and it's also just sort of common sense. But there's another piece here. So when you follow sort of an artificial way of eating, like you're not going to go through the rest of your life not eating fresh fruits and vegetables anymore, right? So it's a very limited, it's not sustainable. So there's that aspect of it, but it's worse than that. So when you're on this diet, let's say that you're on the keto diet and you do lose weight because you've cut out so many food groups, so it's almost inevitable that you're going to lose weight, and you might lose weight rapidly. Then what? You say, okay, I wanted to lose 10 pounds. It looks like I'm down. Now what do I do? Because I know how I gained weight before. That was making kind of unhealthy food choices maybe, or for whatever reason you gained weight. Then you took the keto diet to lose weight. Now, where do you go? Because see, you didn't learn along the way how to eat in a way that sustains your weight and your health in a healthy manner ongoing. And that's the key to all of this, is learning how to not need diets anymore ever, because you've learned to eat healthy. And when you're eating healthy whole foods, they're so filling because of the nutrients and the way that your brain, the apostat, the mechanism in your brain that gauges your nutritional intake, it's satisfied so quickly with all the nutritional density of a plant-based diet that you don't tend to eat as much. And so when you learn to eat that way ongoing, it's so much easier to maintain your weight. And of course, plant foods are so high in nutrients and fiber that they're very satisfying on a number of levels. So once you get accustomed to eating a healthy plant-based diet, it's really easy to maintain the weight loss. And so that's why it's best to lose the weight on a healthy whole food diet in the first place, because then you just continue eating that way, but maybe just incorporating more of foods that might be a little more rich, a little bit more of healthy fats and things that you might have cut back on the initial phase. So not to get confusing here, we can go back and look at healthy weight loss with a plant-based diet, but the point really is, if you want to lose weight, doing it in a sustainable way that involves healthy eating. So you're training yourself, your palate, your appestat, your body, all along the way as the weight is getting dropped, how to maintain the loss by continuing to eat healthy, just being able to have more food rather than less if you've dropped the weight sufficiently. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to keep approaching this from different angles, but I really appreciate your thinking about it today. Cheers.